There is an invisible line running through the middle of Japan. On one side, the electricity is German. On the other, American. Tokyo's power grid pulses 50 times every second. Osaka's pulses 60. The two halves of the country cannot directly share power. In 2011, that line nearly broke Japan. Tokyo sat in rolling blackouts while the West held spare power it couldn't send. And Japan is just the extreme case. The entire planet is split the same way, into a 50 Hz world and a 60 Hz world. The Americas mostly pulse at 60. Europe, Africa, and most of Asia pulse at 50. Different plugs are cosmetic. This split is structural. Nobody planned it. No treaty, no vote. Just two companies, two catalogs, and a race. So where did 60 even come from? 1890s, America was frequency chaos. Early systems ran at 25 Hz, 40, 60, even 133 cycles per second. Each number was a compromise. Spin a generator slowly and big motors run happily, but electric lights flicker like candles in a draft. Spin it fast and the lights steady, but the era's heavy rotating machinery strains. Every company picked its own answer and sold it. Niagara Falls, the showcase project of the age, went online at 25 Hz. Perfect for industry, terrible for lighting a living room. Westinghouse, building on Nikola Tesla's alternating current work, settled on 60. Fast enough that lamps looked steady, slow enough for machines. 61 America market by market, not by law. Across the Atlantic, engineers watched and deliberately chose a different number. In Berlin, the electrical giant AEG dominated Europe the way Westinghouse and General Electric were carving up America. Their engineer, Mikhail Dolivo-Dobrowolski, a pioneer of three-phase power, ran his first systems at 40 Hz. The story goes, the lights visibly flickered, so AEG moved the number up. Not to America's 60, but to 50, a clean round figure in a metric world. 50 fit the decimal sequence engineers already used. 1, 2, 5. And a European standard kept European equipment orders in European factories. From Berlin, 50 Hz spread with AEG's generators across the continent, then through colonies and trade routes to most of the planet. By the mid-1890s, the split was locked in, and two cities in Japan were about to shop from opposite catalogs. In 1895, Tokyo's electric company ordered its big new generators from Germany, from AEG, 50 Hz machines. A year or two later, its rival in Osaka bought from America's General Electric, 60 Hz. Nobody imagined the two systems would ever touch. The cities were 500 kilometers apart. But both grids kept growing outward, decade after decade, until they met in the middle. Japan wired the whole country before it could pick one number. East runs at 50 to this day. West runs at 60. Then, March 2011, earthquake, tsunami, Fukushima. Tokyo's utility lost roughly a third of its generating capacity almost overnight. Western Japan had spare power, but only a handful of converter stations can pass electricity across the line. Tokyo went dark in shifts. So why not just fix it? Because a grid's frequency is baked into every generator, transformer, and motor connected to it. Unifying Japan alone is estimated in the trillions of yen. Instead, they're spending billions just building bigger converter stations at the border. Old frequencies don't die either. Amtrak trains between New York and Washington still run on 25 Hz power today. That system was built by the Pennsylvania Railroad starting in 1915, before America's grid existed. Replacing it never penciled out. Grids are the largest machines humans have ever built, and the biggest machines have the longest memories. Every early guess becomes permanent. 50 and 60 were sales calls made in the 1890s. The world still runs on them. The voltage wars came next.